Well, hello there, you wondrous web-wandering beasts. Brandon Valentine, the pretentious Fiend here. And of course, as is customary on my channel, we're here with another track review. This time, we're looking at a repeat artist, Rebecca Black. Famed, of course, for her meme-tastic song Friday, released 10 years ago now. Now she's released the track Personal, and that is what we are here today to listen to, fellow beasts. So without further ado, before we get too far into the review, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Keep me draped in, small amounts of adoration that I use as a form of currency to stave off the big sad. So straight off the bat, the production on this track is a really serious delve into the hyperpop aesthetic, which is of course huge at the moment. And it works really well as a single to come off the back of the success of her Friday remix, which was so full on in that hyperpop realm. And this definitely has a similar set of tones in the way of these glitchy synths and this kind of square wave bass during the chorus that's nasty and aggressive in a very kind of compressed 80s way, but through a modern lens, which is kind of a pretty solid description of a lot of hyperpop at times. We start off with these really soft percussive synths that have a really halted relationship with time, especially on the second bar. They kind of have a suspension on the riff before they drop into the next chord. It kind of drops into the next chord halfway through the second bar, which is a really nice, interesting way to work around 4/4 and still give it that dynamic, unpredictable feel. Bass beat of the chorus has a good bit of grit to it, and whilst the vocals don't rocket off into some big, huge cinematic pop territory, the more relaxed vocal delivery really adds actually to the more mature, kind of calm thematic of the lyrics, and also adds to the sing-along ability? I should make a fucking dictionary of the dumbass words I make up on this channel. The things I do to the English language is just an abhorrency. But it's really in the second verse that all the elements really start to charge up and come together, and the production starts to take some really interesting turns. This is where the hyperpop juices do flow, darling. Yes. With these erratic starts and stops, and interjecting noises amongst glitzy, glassy, glitching synths. But once we hit the pre-chorus, we're met with this very 80s style pad with a very 80s style pop chord progression that acts as really nice cohesive glue for the more erratic parts of the production. And there is something that I really love about vocals being used in a very, very rhythmic manner. And that last line in the pre-chorus. And this is really well exemplified by this final line in the pre-chorus, this "but I'll be the bigger person, babe," this 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Lyrically and thematically, this track deals with love and romance like every other fucking song in the world, except it comes at it from a kind of very everyday, relatable, accessible viewpoint, which is you're in a relationship of sorts, and nothing is necessarily bad, but you know it's not right for you and you need to be the one to pull the plug. And then maturely dealing with the emotions that the other person is having to go through, because it will to them feel like you've broken up with them out of nowhere. It will feel as if you are all of a sudden a villain, and understanding that they're gonna have to go through that, and saying to them, I won't blame you if you blame me, I won't take it personally. But really one of the key 1%ers of this song is this open, padded, synth-heavy bridge, which is just having everything in the song dropping out, vocals included, to this open expanse, which I can imagine going off live, because they could drag this out like a motherfucker. Especially once that pulsating, wubbing bass comes in, it's very affirming and it feels very successful. But leading of course into an outro where everything goes spastastically hyperpopalicious, in which you have these frantic, tremolo, chopped up vocals, which is a fitting way to end the song. There is just a chaos to it. All in all, this is by far the best track I've ever heard by Rebecca Black. That is an absolute given. I dare say that's undeniable and inarguable. As I said earlier, I think we are seeing Rebecca Black hit a very strong stride finding her place in hyperpop, a genre of music where she can have fun, over-the-top pop music whilst having the cultural freedom to dive in and out of subjects that she wants to explore and express. And I'm very curious to see what the album will be. And all in all, it's definitely a serviceable track. There are definite parts of this track that will have crowds singing and people humming. There is a definite catchiness to it. But they are doth only my opinions. Most importantly, go have a listen below. Let me know what you think. Yes, come back, comment, do things that are wondrous for the algorithm. None of us can beat the all-seeing, all-knowing, capitalistic eye of the algorithm. Brandon Valentine, the pretentious fiend. Until next time, remember to disregard society in its entirety and, for goodness sake, remain filthy.